Hey guys, and welcome to the most must-see podcast on Thursday night. That's Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We got the host, myself, Kev, the Wise Man. We have Roger. We have Calvin. We have Shane. We have Will. We have Ben, and we have Emmanuel the Guru. How are you guys?
Good.
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 How you guys doing?
All right, we're all doing great, man. I got a little bit of heel talk that I want to freaking do before I throw it over to Will um, for his roundtable. Guys, I despise Dave Meltzer. I do not know why people even give that bastard attention.
Wow.
Why do we care about his 5-star match? Why do we care about his opinion? It's stupid. He's nothing. He just gets on there and talks, and people act like he's God. Well, he's not God. He's not. He's worse than Vince Russo in my eyes. I will never give him money. I never want to see him on my computer. I never want to hear anything from him. He's never said anything smart in his entire life. He's a stupid nobody person that had a platform and decided, hey, I'm gonna maybe think that I can talk to some wrestling and give my opinion and people will listen to me. And it's just flipping stupid. He doesn't know it. He gives matches 3.5 stars, 3.75. How the hell are you going to measure something by 0.75 and half? It's because he's just stupid. I can't make no other stupid any more excuses for him. His mama must have dropped him on the head when he was a baby, and he's ignorant. And so that's my rant for right now. I don't understand why he's even around. I don't understand why people would pay, because he's got a site where people pay to like hear him talk, and he would have to pay me to hear him talk. I don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't want to know. If I like a fucking match, I'm going to like it, not because Dave Meltzer tells me to like the match. It's just ignorant. He's stupid. He's been saying some stuff lately that's like been a hole out of his ass. He's dumb. And I guess I'm just repeating myself now because I'm just going to keep on saying he's dumb, dumb, dumb. And that is my opinion, not of the guys and not of the TRC page. This is the Wise Man, Kev Buckler's opinion. Dave Meltzer is a fucking jackass, and he's no good, and he's not worth the gunpowder to blow his ass up. Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, don't hold nothing back, Kev.
I didn't. It's just,
I like Dave Meltzer.
oh Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Of course you would.
Why do you
course
like
the
Dave
hell
Meltzer?
does.
I don't mind him.
I don't mind him. Hey, because
Wait.
one of my favorite tag teams, he named 7-star FTR.
Well, he can name it whatever, but they can still be your tag team. But you don't have to like them to like him.
I like Dave Meltzer. I like his opinion. I read his opinions.
Well, you know what? That's what I will respect you for that. You want to know why? Because this is TRC and Top Rope Wrestling Talk, and we respect everybody's opinions around here.
This is our safe space. This is our safe space.
It is.
Keep talking like
We
that. You
respect
ain't gonna have a
everybody.
safe space.
The hell is
What was that, Will?
You keep talking like that. He ain't gonna have no safe space. We ain't got
Yeah,
no
no.
safe blankets in here.
That's the way I was heading, but I'm trying to be nice and respect his opinion,
Safe
even though
Two
What the-
thoughts on that. Number one, right before we went on, I mean literally like within seconds before we went on, I pissed Jess off and she said she was gonna tell Kev on me and Kev was gonna get me. Number two,
well,
the more you mention his name, the more credibility you just gave him. So by announcing how much you dislike him, he's a heel commentator. He's a heel publicist. He wants his name mentioned. It's like when there's a bad guy wrestler and you boo him, that's what they're going for. So you just fell right into his bullshit trap.
I'll never mention that bastard again.
Who?
There
Who
you
again?
go. That's how you
There
do
you
it.
go.
That's how you do it. You just pretend like they don't exist, and you're good to go.
You're not gonna mention who again?
I'm not gonna
I ain't
mention you
falling in your
again,
trap,
Guru.
Hawk Suey.
Uh,
All right, guys. Thanks you all for joining us tonight. We're going to go right into Will, and he's going to do his roundtable and give us some questions. And then when he's done, we do like I call the reverse roundtable, and we ask him questions. Take it away, my
first
brother.
one, first one up tonight is gonna go straight to Ben, tag team champion of the world. Ben, if you had a friend that didn't watch wrestling, what is one match you would show them to try to get them involved in wrestling?
I was waiting for you to asking me that question. Mine, no telling what. Like I said, would be the Hell in the Cell 1998 Undertaker versus Mick Foley. Like I said, that was to me, like I said, the oh wow moments, not just once, but twice. Getting thrown off the top of the Hell in Cell, getting thrown through the Hell in Cell, still wanting to fight. And like I said, it turned out to be a great match. So Hell in Cell 1998 with Undertaker versus Mick Foley.
Nice. Really good pick. I mean, it's hard to beat that match. It's still talked about today so fondly. So it's been 26 years, literally, since that match. So,
Did you
all
see
right,
Robert
next one
Burke's
up.
comment?
Didn't I would show them Brett? Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Brett Nolan WrestleMania 10 is a great one too. Up next, this one goes to Kev. Greatest
Right.
match in Survivor Series history, Kev. Survivor Series history, greatest match. You only get one.
Got to go with the history. Brett versus Sean.
Yeah,
Montreal Screwdriver.
that's the one, huh?
I mean that. Yeah, that. I mean that. I mean I can think of some other great matches, but I mean you have to go with that one because it changed the wrestling. It
Changed
changed
everything, right?
everything. So that's the one.
Okay, that's a good choice. All right, Shane. Who was a better character, Papa Shango or Godfather?
Ooh.
There we go. Good question. Good question. I mean, the guy himself, Charles, is a really great guy. Met him, I got the chance to meet him a couple times. I would have to say I'm a big fan of both. If I had to pick one, I guess I'd say Godfather. Just because of the weed in the hose.
Yeah,
Um,
the
Papa
coolness
Shango
factor.
was awesome with the voodoo and all the casting spells with the warrior thing, and I love that because it brings me back to more of my childhood. But the Godfather, you know, brings me to it not even now, and not being becoming a teenager, so. I would lean a little more towards the Godfather character. I think it's a hard question. I like that question. But yeah, I think I have to go Godfather.
Okay. All right.
Real quick, I want to throw out Larry Walker. His opinion was Brett versus Shawn 92. I think he's talking about that Survivor Series
Survivor
question.
Series 92, yeah. That was a great
Robert
one, too,
Burdick.
man. Great match.
Yeah, Robert Burdick has got the Highway to Hell with Austin and Taker.
That was SummerSlam.
And Brian Howarth is talking trash even though he's not here.
Expect nothing less.
All right. Up next, guys. Up next, Calvin. Hulk Hogan's best title run out of the 12 title runs he had. Which of his title runs was the best run he had?
I mean, the ones that I remember is probably his WCW title run when he was Hollywood Hogan.
Yep, from 96?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great run. He held it for a very long time. I mean, ultimately, didn't he hold it until 97 when he lost it to Lex for like a week and then he got it back?
I believe. And then I know at one time he lost to Goldberg.
Well, Goldberg, that was in 98. That was the summer of 98. But I think in 96, he held it all the way through until right before Road Wild 97, lost to Lex on Nitro, won it back from Lex on Road Wild, and then held it all the way until he lost it to Sting at Starrcade. So unless there was something in between that I'm forgetting, that was a really long title run.
It was a long title run because I was hoping Lex would keep that belt, but didn't happen.
Kept it for a week.
Yep.
All right, Roger.
Yes, sir.
Roger from the great state of Texas, the Lone Star State. Roger, LOD, Legion of Doom's best rival ever. Who was their best rival? It doesn't matter if they were Road Warriors or LOD.
Mm. Wow.
That's a
Oof.
tough one. That's a tough
That's a
one.
really tough one. Um, the one I thought was a good one was when they went against Demolition, because it was like a, I'm sorry, no, yeah, Demolition, when they were doing the Who's the Real Ones. So to me,
Go ahead.
that was a good, the good rivalry for me. There's quite a few, so it's really hard to say.
Okay. All right. And I think last but not least is Manuel, the guru.
The
Manuel,
Help.
what's that?
Said the Help.
Oh, the help. Yeah. Yep.
Nope.
Manuel. Is Shawn Michaels one of the greatest of all time? And if he is, where does he fit in your top 20?
To me, he is, to me, in my eyes, he's the greatest of all time. I mean, he's the showstopper, the main event, Mr. WrestleMania. In my eyes, he's number one. I mean, he just at that era, man, he just outworked everybody. I mean, yeah, he was a prick and he was a dickhead, and might not been liked backstage and had his hand in a couple dealings, but when he went behind that curtain and stepped in those ropes, he put a show on. I mean, he made wrestling fun to watch. I mean, he sold great. He told great stories with his act, with his his moves. His promos were amazing. I mean, they had you hate him and then they had you love him. To me, he's one of the greatest of all times. He's number one in my top 20.
Wow. Well, I didn't
That is a
expect that.
wow. I didn't
I
either.
did
Did
not
not
expect
expect
that.
that.
So you're putting him above Hogan, Flair, Brett, all those guys. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
Sometimes you got to be different.
Wow. I didn't expect that. That's a hell of an answer. All
He
right.
did give a hell of an answer. I just didn't expect it.
He gave a wonderful answer. I just didn't expect that at all.
I mean, what really sold me with Sean was, I mean, the rivalry with Brett, that rivalry. I mean, where he made it personal, and that just showed me that he don't give a damn. He's here to make
Yep.
money, but he's also here to entertain. And when they put on great matches, every time they fought, it was a great match. I just felt like he was just a great performer. I mean, he stepped in those ropes, and you knew you were going to get a great match no matter who he fought.
One thing I think has really helped his legacy is he's not like a lot of the other ones where he just keeps doing it at like old age.
Yeah,
He's virtually retired completely, other than training and teaching down at the NXT area. So I mean, I think that's helped him a lot. Where a lot of the other guys, they kind of kept going past their prime and making themselves look bad, and that really hurt their legacy. So you might be onto something there. I don't know that I could agree 100%, but you might be onto something. So great answer.
So, Manuel, real fast, I got a question for you since you,
yeah.
because everybody talks about Sean and everything. The attitude that he had, do you think that Sean has changed, or do you think he's still that asshole deep down inside?
I think he changed. I think he did it in that era. He was young, cocky, brash. He was Vince McMahon's golden goose. I mean, he was the guy. I mean, he was the showstopper, the main event. And I think as he got older, he matured. He's probably still a little bit of childish as he got a little older, but as far as I'm not gonna be this big of a dick or this asshole or this just do this silly stuff. He got older, and then he started mentoring young athletes like he does in NXT to be like him. I mean, kind of reminds me of the Dolph Ziggler the act he had when he came. He reminded me of Shawn, how he acted: arrogant, brass, bold, cocky. I often tell people he could have played Shawn Michaels in a biography just because of how he acted.
Cool deal. I want to give some shout out here. Robert Burdick, his favorite match with Sean was a Mania match with Kurt Angle. He said that was incredible. Larry Walker has Sean in his top 10. And then also Larry Walker says Shawn Michael versus Razor Ramon with some good matches. And I have to agree with that one. And I don't think
Right.
there's not many of us that wouldn't agree with that one.
Nope, I agree.
I agree.
All right, we're going to go around the room and have some questions for Will. See what we got. I'm going to go first. Will, why, in your opinion, do you believe Lex Luger is not in the Hall of Fame of WWE?
Because they think it's controversial for the fans. They think a lot of the old school fans really truly believe that he allowed Liz to die instead of getting her immediate attention. And they blame him for her actions as an adult when in reality, I mean, yes, they were a couple, but they both made poor decisions as adults. And ultimately, when you make those decisions, you're not necessarily in control of your mind making those decisions because addiction can lead you in many different directions. But at the end of the day, you're an adult and you make your own choices. And I think a lot of people feel in their hearts that he's to blame when in reality, I mean, it would be no different than any other, married or living together couple where they both were abusing substances and, one of them just took too much. I don't think you can blame him for that.
Fantastic answer. All right, Roger, you got a question, brother?
Yeah. Will, given the fact that with the way the wrestling's going right now with the PLEs that they're doing, I believe SummerSlam's going to be 2 nights now. WrestleMania is already 2 nights. Do you see them doing 2 nights for the other major PLEs? And what do you think is the pros and cons to that? Because I know my personal thoughts, but I'd like to know what yours are.
Great
So
question.
so my thought process is still so old school that I hate it. I hate the idea of having to watch 2 nights of Mania. I hate the idea that SummerSlam's going to 2 nights. The pros I think are you're getting a lot more talent showcase. You're showing a lot more talent out there. Obviously, the main purpose of doing it is because you're selling double the amount of tickets. You're still selling double the amount of pay-per-view buys. If anybody still buys it on pay-per-view, you're still getting, probably double the amount of subscribers on Peacock. So I understand why they're doing it, but to me, it takes away from that special night. Like WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl. I mean, can you imagine if the Super Bowl was a 2-night event? I mean, you played the first quarter one night, or I'm sorry, the first half one night, and then played the second half the next night. I mean, that wouldn't be what anybody would want to see. So by doing that, I just think it's terrible. I understand the thought process of how much more money they're making, but when they talk about, we're shattering records with these WrestleMania tickets, well, of course you are, because you used to sell 80,000, now you sell 160,000 because you're doing 2 nights. So I get it. It's not for me. I still watch it. I enjoy it, but I mean, it's just not the same. Like you think back in the day when you would sit down and watch a WrestleMania and you didn't know what was going to happen and it was exciting. And when it was over and you just moved on. So I don't care for it, but I understand it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it one bit. I think the same thing. I think it's about money. I think in the end, some of the match qualities are suffering, and that hurts in the end.
Well, and the thing is too, like when you would have one night of Mania, for example, we went to WrestleMania 33. Jess and I went to WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, and it started at like 6 o'clock at night. Maybe it was pre-matches or whatever, but it started at 6 o'clock at night. And by the time the last match ended, it was after midnight. And yeah, that was a long event. But the thing is, it was all in one. Where can you imagine having to, go 6 hours, a Saturday and then 6 hours on Sunday? I mean, that's a
Man.
long time. Even though you're enjoying it, obviously, it's still a really long time to be there. So for me, it just doesn't work. But yeah, I see Rumble, I see Survivor Series, Of course, SummerSlam's already picking it up 2 nights, and then WrestleMania is already 2 nights. But I see the idea happening with those major pay-per-views or PLEs becoming 2 nights. You got to remember too, the only reason the 2 night deal started, a lot of people forget this. The 2 night deal started because of COVID, because they couldn't have all the talent in the building for WrestleMania back when COVID was happening in 2020. So they had to break it up into 2 nights so they could have X amount of people in the building one night and then X amount of people in the building next night to do their matches. So that's where it started, was with COVID, and then they just kind of ran with it. Before that, it was always a 1 night deal.
And I kind of, my reason is I wish they would go to 1 night, because now 2 nights, they have the kind of two different cards, and then anybody that can get on the WrestleMania show. It used to be so prestigious that you had to be somebody to be on a WrestleMania show and get that payday, because everybody always talked about that big WrestleMania payday. And now you got 2 nights, so it's easy to put just anybody on there for filler or whatever.
Well, they just announced the 2025 Royal Rumble location going to be in Indianapolis.
Nice.
Robert Burke says, in a way, it does take away a whole weekend from you devoting most of your time in preparation for the events. Then it's like back to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that was an awesome question and an awesome answer. Calvin, my friend.
So, what do you think of the debut, the appearance, whatever, of the Wyatt Six on Monday night? And do you think the characters as they are going to work?
I had somebody reach out to me earlier today and messaged me about that too, and said, "Hey, what's your opinion on this?" My exact opinion is, I'm really, really grateful and thankful to WWE for keeping his ideas alive, Bray's ideas alive. And I think that it's going to be a huge deal. I definitely think you're going to see Bo with a world championship at some point, where, prior to this, I would have never thought Bo would be a world champion. But, I think that's the right thing to do. You got to push it as hard as you can. I think there'll be a huge deal come Mania time. The only thing I would do differently is all this beating you up backstage and making it look like a big old movie scene. I would stop that. I would have them go out and beat the wrestlers up in the ring and leave them, but I wouldn't do all this behind the scenes stuff, because then you make it kind of look too movie-ish, too fake. But otherwise, I love it, and I'm hoping that at some point, there was a lot of other ideas that were drawn up and written up and everything else. If you watch the documentary, I'm hoping at some point they can even unveil some characters that they've never shown or never really talked about except for in the documentary.
I agree. And I loved the movie, just like you. I love the movie scene right now, when they've done it for their debut, but don't do it again, because they need to just come to the ring from now on. But I really, really hope that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Today they did like a little, I won't say vignette, but they had basically made it appear like the Wyatt Six invaded the Pat McAfee show at the end, and then killed the show before the show was supposed to be over.
Right. Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
they need to get past that quickly, because that's not going to be entertaining for long.
No, we got to get into wrestling. That's why we're getting the entertainment part, but we're going to have to wrestle. So that's what I'm waiting to see. Robert Burdick says he has no really opinion on it right now, but he's excited and wants to get ready to start. And it's got a great cliffhanger that draws me to want to see more. So appreciate your comment, Robert. Next, we're to G.I. Shane.
Good question, Calvin. I was going to ask the same thing. So let's go with how do you feel with what do you think with Roman when he comes back? Do you think the Jimmy will come back with him? Do you think the Usos will get back together and they'll take on this new bloodline, or do you think he'll just kind of jump back in and be the tribal chief and take back over.
Well, the one thing I fear the most with his character is them trying to bring him back as a babyface. Don't change his character at all. You can have him come back. You can have him join the Usos. You can have him take on the new bloodline, but don't have him come back as a babyface because you're going to ruin everything you've built character wise. You got to immediately put him back to Paul Heyman, and you got to continue with the heel run because the only way to ruin something that they did so well with is to bring him back and try to make him a good guy. There's no need for that. Just bring him back and let him pick up right where he left off and let him join forces with the Usos. And I've said it a million times. The Usos never should have been broke up ever.
I
And
agree.
ultimately they're going to end up back together because they're a tag team. Neither one of them is ever going to be successful, as a singles competitor. It's just not where they're at. They're so deep in their career now. They're like 14, 15 years, maybe a little longer into their career as a tag team. Even when they had their little tiny singles runs here over the past 12 months, it hasn't amounted to anything. So
Yeah.
you got to get them back as a tag team. But the way you mess up the Roman character, especially with him being the face of the company, because he's still the face of the company even while he's out, is you try to force him into being a good guy. And that's the worst thing you could do. You got to bring him back exactly the way he was.
I know. I've seen on I think it was Busted Open or the podcast. They was talking to Jay, and he said he hates being a single wrestler.
Yep.
He said he just does it because he enjoys working. He said, but he just
I mean, it's
doesn't
over. But
he just doesn't like being a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
best thing I've seen from Jay lately is when they've done that interview where he said he didn't want the Fireflies anymore. Said the
Yeah.
family's back, they can have him. Said, you see that woman? He was freaking out. Said, I'm glad the Fireflies got behind me, but I don't need them no more. Give them back to the family.
Yep. I agree. And
Let's
let's
see,
not
Kevin.
forget too that Roman, even though he's the bad guy, retired the blue strap WWE Championship and dedicated it to Bray's family, gave it to Bray's family because Bray had that WWE Universal Championship. So, that was a really cool thing to do. Was never really televised, was barely talked about, but that was a great thing to do.
Now,
Will,
do
in
you
your
think?
opinion, go ahead.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Kev.
No, you go ahead. I was going to ask the question.
In your opinion, with that, don't you think that when Roman comes back, the fans are automatically gonna make him a baby face? They're gonna
That's
be
what it
rooting
seems
for
like
them
with
as a
Brian.
You
They'll
can
cheer
you
for him.
can you can turn them naturally. You can naturally turn them, but don't bring them back and write the script of the character to be a face. You need to let the fans, the fans cheered him the whole time he was a bad guy too. So you can let the fans cheer for him, but don't make him come out there and be the hero. Make him come out there and be the same guy that left.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Kevin Van Gelder says, Will, in your opinion, who's going to win the Money in the Bank, men's and women's?
I think it's just a little bit too early to predict, but I would not be shocked to see Alexa come back and win the women's. And then as far as the men's, I really truly think you got to go think, somewhere along the lines of like a Drew McIntyre, because how many umpteen shots is this guy going to have and not be, champion with this whole CM Punk angle? But there's a lot of variables right now. I think it's just slightly too early. There's people I would love to see. Just looking at it right now, Uncle Howdy would be wonderful to get up there and get that, briefcase because that would immediately propel him into a main event status. But I really just think it's a little too early. Maybe next week we can kind of look into it a little more,
Okay,
or the following week. So if you could kind of make a note, or we can dig into
absolutely.
that just a little bit more. But I definitely feel like Alexa's going to be back, and she's going to be in the Money in the Bank.
Great question. Thanks, Kevin. Okay, Ben, you're up.
Who is probably the, I don't know, in your opinion? Well, I'm going to change the question. With WWE and TNA doing the crossovers of having talent come from one organization and appearing on another one, and then AEW allowing the New Japan and doing the Forbidden Door. Do you think it's still going to work? What's your opinions on the crossovers, and do you still think it will still continue on and eventually maybe see AEW and WWE together?
So crossovers have been the biggest like fantasy of the fan forever. It reminds me of the territory days when a talent would finish in a territory and start a new one. But a crossover is the biggest fantasy there is. If you think back to 96, 97, 98 time period with WWE and WCW, if you could have seen like a Starcade or a World War III or some sort of huge pay-per-view where you had WWF versus WCW, that would have been the ultimate of all time as far as a crossover event. So even now, anytime you can cross any company with another, it's a good thing, and it's a good situation for the talent too, because if something happens to them, they have somewhere else to go and work and apply their craft. Not everybody can work for the number one company, but you always have the opportunity, to go to number two or number three or whatever and really hone your craft. Now, some of those guys that had left WWE and went to AEW, they kind of fell off the face of the earth, unfortunately. But I think a lot of that has to do with their, politics, um, kind of backstage. I think they need to spend more time working on their, what they bring to the table. For example, Keith Lee. Like Keith Lee was such a talent in WWE, and then he kind of got bumped down the roster and bumped down the roster, and then next thing you know, he's in AEW. And what has he accomplished there?
Nothing.
So, but then you look at Christian, who was basically retired from WWE, and he goes to AEW, and he's a megastar there because, in my opinion, I don't watch very much AEW, but in my opinion, he's the best thing they have over there.
He's the patriarch.
Yep.
All right, Guru.
So I had to write mine down. So let's take you back to Super Brawl 8 and 9.
Oh Lord.
So we seen two luchadors lose their mask in Juventud Guerrera and Rey Mysterio. Do you feel like that was the right move at that time to do that, to take the mask off the luchadors?
Uh, you know, it's the same as the old '80s lose your hair match. Basically, you lost the match, you lost your hair. It was a great stipulation. Um, kind of not answering the question, but going a different direction with it. The best time that any talent ever lost their mask was Rey Mysterio losing it to Kevin Nash, and he had to take it off in the ring. And Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were standing there watching Rey take his mask off, and they were making fun of him and telling him to put it back on because he was so ugly. That was so humorous that it was good. Other than that, I don't really see a point in what they did, as far as Super Bowl, 8 and 9, or any other time that they took a mask off. It was supposed to be the ultimate disrespect to have to unmask, but at the same time, who gave a shit? Nobody gave a shit about that. Super Bowl 8. What was everybody talking about? Wasn't it Hogan and Sting at Super Bowl 8?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't that the main event?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Who remembers Super Bowl 8? Wasn't that the main event? Super Bowl 8. Wasn't it Hogan and Sting for the title?
BM would probably know.
Super Bowl 9, I think, was probably
Yes.
It's Hogan and Sting, right?
Yes,
So
and
is
then nine was Goldberg and Bam Bam.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, so Super Bowl 8, you got Hogan and Sting. Who gives a shit about who lost their mask? That's the problem with stuff like that is, you don't put enough into the planning of it, and it just gets watered down by everything else going on.
So
And it's
So you would think it'd have been better if it was like just a build up to that point.
Yeah,
Because
well, I mean, of course, they did build it up, but they
yeah,
didn't put enough. You know, the thing is, when you put a little firecracker next to an M80, you're going to get a big bang out of the M80. Nobody remembers. I barely remembered the main event of Super Bowl 8. I damn sure didn't remember the luchador that lost their mask. You know what I
right.
mean? That's the point. But if you had built it up on Nitro, like they did with Kevin Nash and Rey Mysterio, I remember that unmasking because they made it to where it was humorous. They made it, where they told him he was so ugly, put the mask back on. I remember that, but I don't remember the other ones.
Because
But
Juventud and Jericho had a really great match. I
Yeah,
mean, they were. I mean, Jericho fought luchador style forever.
yeah,
But I
they had a
mean,
great match, but on a stacked card. If you
right?
had
Yeah, that's the
put it
yeah.
somewhere where you're not going up against something so much bigger
I feel
at
like
the
you could have put it on a
time,
Nitro. You could have put that on a
absolutely.
Nitro, and it'd work just fine. Because I mean, after that, Hoovy. I mean, yeah, he won a couple cruiserweight titles, but after that, he was riding a fucking tractor
Yeah. Well,
down the
and not
damn
only
ramp.
not only not only that though, but I mean, what? How did that benefit Jericho's career? Because Jericho was already a star at that point.
Yeah, he was already a star. Yeah,
He was almost headed to WWE at that point.
yeah. So I mean,
So how did
I
that
just always
benefit his
wondered
career?
if either one of those should have even happened.
No, definitely not. But the one with Rey Mysterio, if you go back and find it
Was
and you
right
watch
timing.
it, oh my gosh, hilarious! Go back and find that one on
And he got. I
YouTube.
mean, after that, he got hot. What did he do? He beat they called him Rey Mysterio, the Giant Killer, or
Yeah, yeah,
like he beat Bam. Like I mean, he was hot. He got with the Filthy Animals. I mean,
yep,
so I mean, for him, it worked out.
yep, absolutely.
All right. We're going to go into our topic, guys. We're picking our 4 top favorite pay-per-views, and I'll start with mine real fast. I am picking WrestleMania 4. I loved it.
Ooh,
The tournament, just the atmosphere, and Randy Savage, getting his first championship, and Hogan even helping him. Just that whole thing was fantastic. Then I'm going to go with WrestleMania 10 because that entire show I could watch that pay-per-view over and over and over and not be bored with it one damn bit. WrestleMania 19 for Hogan and Rock, and then I'm going Royal Rumble 94
did you say 18 or 19?
or whichever one was Hogan and the Rock.
It was 18.
18.
18, sorry.
And what
That
was your
is
last one? What was your last one?
my last one was Royal Rumble 94.
Wow, holy shit! Excellent picks.
So I just went through and I just picked the ones that have them, maybe the entire card I didn't like, but they just had matches that I had never forgot. But 10 is probably my favorite, just WrestleMania 10, because I could just watch it. The entire 10 matches were just fantastic. So, Roger, brother, you're next.
All right, I had to write mine down, so bear with me 1 second. I had SummerSlam. I only had 3. I had SummerSlam 92. Of course, you had British Bulldog versus Bret Hart.
Oh yeah.
Right.
King of the Ring 96 when Stone Cold beat Jake. And
There you
then
go.
WrestleMania 18, Rock defeated Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah. Excellent choices.
See, I'm loving all this because we all have different choices. Then when we hear them, we're like, yeah, why didn't I pick that? So I love these top 4.
Who's keeping track of these so we know who's the winner?
Are you writing them down?
I'm not.
I'm not either. Anybody got a pen and write them down?
We can just go back and watch the broadcast afterwards and declare the winner on the page.
There we go. Calvin, sir.
So, of course, I'm going to pick WrestleMania 3, Hogan versus Andre.
I knew that was coming.
Saw that.
WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus Warrior,
Excellent.
Bash at the Beach 96,
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and WrestleMania 18.
Nice.
And what do all of those have in common?
All of them have to do with Hogan.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's at least 3 votes right there for 18.
Yeah.
Man, but I'm glad that you said that Bash at the Beach because, I mean, nobody will never forget that. Ever.
Hey, Kev, we don't do extra credit here.
Hey, I'm just trying to be a broadcast journalist and trying to keep up with everything.
Shane, what do you got, Shane?
I didn't get a chance really to write anything down or think about it, but I was just thinking while you guys were talking. I'm not sure what pay-per-views they are, but the Hogan versus Warrior WrestleMania, that was one of my favorites. The
That's
match
6.
wise,
That's 6.
the Hogan and Slaughter match at the WrestleMania, that was
That's 7.
7.
and the Jake the Snake when he first Earthquake and Earthquake crushed Damien. That was one of my favorite memorable matches.
I'll have to research that one. I want to say that happened on a Superstars.
Stars.
Yeah, I'll have to research that one.
All right,
That's-
Will.
I like that.
All right. Looks like Robert Burdick threw in some Rumble 94, Survivor Series 95, SummerSlam 92, and WrestleMania 14 is what Robert Burdick said. So we're
Yep.
definitely going to have to go back and get these tracked, Kev.
Yes,
my
definitely.
four literally, I mean, here's what I put earlier in the week. So, I mean, it's not something that I just created while we were talking. I mean, you can see it right there. Rumble 94, number 1 for me. Survivor Series 93, number 2. I didn't hear anybody pick that one. It was wonderful,
No.
wonderful event.
But it was great.
Bash at the Beach 96. How could you not pick that one? Like, what are you thinking if you don't pick that one? Because what a historic moment, you know. And then WrestleMania 10, of course, you know, probably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. What a stacked card. And I mean, there's so many options to choose from, but those are definitely mine. So I know we got at least a couple votes for 10. I know we got at least a couple votes for Bash at the Beach 96 and at least 3 votes for WrestleMania 18. We got at least 2 votes for WrestleMania 6. So, I mean, there's a lot of top contenders.
Yeah, I'll end up going back and watching it and writing it down, and then I'll even post a poll to the page and let everybody else decide as well.
Yep.
Ben.
Kevin Vanguard posted something too just a second ago. I saw it flash up, but I didn't see what it said.
Okay, his was favorite is Royal Rumble 90, WrestleMania 6, and then also SummerSlam 89.
All good choices. So technically, that's now 3 for WrestleMania 6.
Sure is. Okay, Ben.
All right. Mine was going to be Bash at the Beach 96.
Hell yeah. That's
What's another
3.
one?
I'm torn. Royal Rumble 1992 with the tear in my eye.
That's a great one. Everybody loves that one.
Then there's those 2. You got the Hogan. You got the. See, I'm torn.
You didn't do your homework, did you?
No, I'm torn between 2. WrestleMania 9 is my 3rd. But then I'm torn between my 4th one, between Halloween Havoc 96 and Hog Wild.
Yeah, those are both good choices.
Yeah, I'm gonna say shoot, because you got Macho versus Hogan, Halloween Havoc, and then you got. I'm gonna go Halloween Havoc because that's also I think the Ray and Eddie match. But
also the return of Piper too. Remember?
it is so Halloween Havoc 96. But my favorite one I've ever been to was TNA Lockdown 2010.
Yeah, we
That's
don't
for
do
just
extra
We're
credit.
gonna do
I'm
it.
gonna
Yeah.
do it,
You took the
but
We don't
word.
do
No
it.
extra credit.
for,
We don't
for
do
me to
extra
go to
credit.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great answers.
Manuel, I can't hear
Let's
you.
go, man. Let's go, Manuel. Come on, man.
All right, my bad. It's my first podcast ever. I'm new.
No, it's not.
I got mine wrote down. So my first one's Bash
Oh,
at the
you wrote
Beach.
them all down, or you got yours
Yeah.
wrote down?
No, I got mine wrote down. I'm
Oh,
not that bright to write everybody's
I
down.
thought maybe you were overachieving. I was gonna say thank you.
I can't comprehend all those. It's too many people. Bash at the Beach 96,
Oh yeah, that's 4.
obviously. King of the Ring 96, the birth of Austin 316.
That's 2 for that one.
SummerSlam 96, just because I like
Really?
the Boiler Room Brawl, and that's like Jim Ross saying, King, that's hot coffee, damn it. That's hot coffee.
Okay.
And my last one is In Your House 7, Good Friends, Better Enemies.
Oh hell yeah! That whole card, In Your House 7's whole card was excellent.
And it's the
I
last
bet.
event
I know.
of those two.
I know. I
Or
bet most
last.
people don't even remember that. But remember Razor Ramon versus Vader? That was a hell of a match,
Yes.
man.
I watched it last night. I mean,
Oh man,
so
that's a great match. Great go. That whole card was great.
Man, those are all some great choices. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and, just write them down. Maybe throw in some extra, put it on the page, let everybody else have their, the members have an opinion as well.
At the moment, though, Bash of the Beach 96 is leading with 4.
I can see why, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for not picking that one, but
the greatest heel turn in wrestling history.
Yep.
But I'm not going to take back the ones that I picked. It's just there's just so many, and then when you hear them, you're like, "Damn, why didn't I pick that?" But that's
You
why
can't-
that's why we
you
love
can't.
doing this.
We don't do takesy backsies.
No, I know, but that's why we love doing this, because we get to hear everybody's opinions, and you'd be like, "Damn, I forgot that," but I'm glad you said it.
Yep, that's a great
So
one.
now we're going to go into some show and tell, brothers. Show and tell, and I'm going to go first, and I'm going to do it here real fast. This
So
is one
show
of
us
my.
tell.
Hold on, I'm not new at this either, but let's go.
Come on, guy.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
I love this piece.
Mil Mascaras and Superstar Billy Graham.
Dual sign that I purchased from the Tribal Chief.
Sweet. That is sweet. I
'Cause I
bet
think
nobody else has that. I bet nobody else has that in their collection here.
Yeah, because the only one other one you had was just what I don't know. It was just it done. It was without one of them.
Yeah, I think it was just Billy Graham or just Mil Mascaras.
So I love that. And then this, not signed, no autograph, but I could take it out, but I want to leave it in the plastic. It is a Merlin sticker photo album.
Yep.
Let me get, and then Will can tell you this and how about this being rare also.
Oh, it's stupidly rare. I don't even think you can find any of those on eBay. I think you and I looked, Kev.
Yes,
And
we did.
I mean, those were the trading cards and stickers they made in Germany. They only made them for a short time. And to be able to find the program that's associated with that is incredibly rare. Probably one of the biggest pieces that Kev owns that I'm super jealous of, because I would love to have that.
I believe that was, I think I heard that when I bought that was purchased from the Luna Vachon estate.
I thought you said
It may have been.
I could
I
be
thought
wrong.
you said Maryland, like the state Maryland.
No, I don't talk
No.
that way. I ain't a Kentucky hick like you've
Thought
been.
you said Maryland, like
I don't say
Maryland.
Merlin.
Don't say
I
that
say
sounds like something
Maryland.
Ben would say.
Merlin.
Or
Maryland.
That's that Danville shit that you're all up there at, Merlin.
Somebody needs to mute the guru's microphone.
Yeah, I can do that too, but
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be nice.
It's like cutting off a drunk at the bar.
I should have muted him when he had those opinions earlier.
I know.
Damn it, Guru.
That
All
was
right,
funny.
Roger. Roger, what you
sir.
got?
Well, I got a couple things. I got the new Penta Ultimate or Supreme collection from got it from Walmart. I'm a big Penta fan,
Shit.
so
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
and then
That is a hell of a figure.
it is.
But you
It's
get
amazing.
all those accessories and then you leave it in the box. Like you have to open that and accessorize it. That's the whole point.
No.
No, damn it!
And
Why
then I
would you
got
buy why would you buy a figure with 75 accessories to leave it in the box?
it's the principle. Damn
I
it.
guess. I'll be quiet now, Roger. Go ahead.
It's assault, brother.
And then I got the Hogan Legends. I got the Sultan and the Muhammad Ali and the Captain Lou Albano as well, but I'm not going to show them.
Hey, don't sleep on that Sultan. That Sultan is a sweet figure.
Yeah, and I picked up a couple AEW figures. I got the Chris Jericho Championship,
Le Champion.
Le Champion.
Le Champion.
And then I got this in the mail. I pre-ordered it from Ringside Collectibles. Try to do it where the glare doesn't hit it. It's the Jericho Hausen.
Nice.
Me and Dr. Nick ordered these, so I'm sure he's got his as well. But Jericho does a Jericho cruise every year, and usually Dan Haslam's out there with him, and usually they'll dress up like each other. And I'm surprised they came out with a figure for it, but they did, so I scooped it up.
Hey, I got a question for everybody. Have y'all noticed how quiet it is and no name calling without Brian being here tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did notice that.
I did notice it.
How you feeling about that, Roger?
It's wonderful. It's amazing. I don't miss him.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I miss Brian.
Yeah, I do too. But I asked Roger because he's pretty much the butt of the jokes, and Brian's usually fighting.
Since he's here, not here, Kev, put the camera on me real quick, if you could, please, kind sir.
I will. Hold on a second. There we go.
There you go, Brian.
So you said Roger's the butt of the jokes, but Roger gives just as much as he receives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He does, so does.
He's an equal opportunity giver.
You guys don't see all the shit I send him during the day. He gets it just as well as I do, and he gives it just as well as I do.
Put the Hawk 2 on it.
He's
Good
just.
Lord.
Oh,
You need
God.
to change your name to Hawk Fooey or whatever the hell you're thinking.
Somebody shut the help up.
Yeah, exactly.
Mute that guy.
Yep. I told you, like a drunk at the bar, he just won't stop.
Yeah, I miss
Chris
him. a little.
Jericho's
I miss him a
Robert
little, but I
Burdick
hope-
picked up the Chris Jericho Series 1. Awesome, Robert.
Nice. Yeah, I miss him
Okay.
a little. I hope his son's doing some good stuff out there playing. But I think it's baseball. So I hope
Yep.
he's scoring some runs and winning some games.
Me too.
Calvin, you're up, brother.
All right, so I've had this for a couple weeks. I've chased it since it come out, but the Cody Rhodes,
Love it.
Nice.
Nice.
and then I got this beauty from Ben,
That is a beauty.
Literally.
and I've had this one for a couple weeks, but I got this from William.
Oh,
Oh,
that's.
Oh,
Sound
Lex
Lex Luger.
Luger, that is badass.
Yep.
I have one signed as well, and that's an unbelievable figure and beautiful sign.
Oh, I was so glad when they first announced that they were making that figure, and it's incredible. I have one open too, one loose, and it's gorgeous.
But that's all I got.
Appreciate you, brother. Mr.
Very
G.I. Shane, what you got for us?
Well, I got a couple new GI Joes I picked up.
Sweet.
Nice.
They're a
Always
little
good to have more G.I. Joe.
in the
Hold on, keep that
50th.
up there. Okay, there we go.
Nice. There you go.
Nice.
I don't even collect that stuff, but when I see it on here, I'm like, damn, I'd like to have that.
I like this
I
one. Got
love that one.
the the red
Oh man.
the red fucking hood on there on the Cobra Commander.
Yes, I
Yep.
love it. I want it.
It's pretty sweet. And I got this stuff of a G.I. Joe page that I'm on. I haven't really been buying a lot lately because I've been remodeling my kitchen, so it's been taking a lot of my money. But I found this Ray the
He's
other
cool.
day for like $5.
He's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That's all I got.
I like it.
All right. We appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you.
So,
All right. All right. Here we go. So for tonight, especially after we were talking about with the
Damn.
takeover and all that stuff, triple sign from Monday Nitro, Nash, Hall, Bischoff, 11x14. I love this shot. One of the most historic shots there is. One of my favorite pieces of all time, right there. So of course, triple sign and
I can see
beautiful.
why.
And then the only other thing I'm going to show for this week is the defining moment stinger from Great American Bash 1990, right
I like
there.
that
Had
belt.
to put a belt
Love
on
that
him,
belt.
but the stinger, look at that. Love that figure. That thing, it's just sharp. I actually picked that up from Steven recently, and a lot of figures that I bought. So really excited about that one. That's all I got this week.
All right, Mr. Bowman.
All right, hold on. All right, just hold the camera right there. Hold it. All right, this is what I got. Show and tell for my daughter for Father's Day. You can eat that.
Nice.
All right, getting healthy. All right, stay right there. All right, got this right here. It's my daddy's always there. He would always be your little girl. You always be my hero. Best dad ever. I love you always and forever. That is my
Aw.
show and
That's
That's
tell
so
cool.
for the week.
nice.
That is cool.
Very
That is
nice.
Awesome.
fantastic. Great job, Marin.
Way to go, Marin.
Tell him.
We should just start putting Marin on.
Yeah, we have that too.
We should put Marin on for Ben's Father's or for his
Yeah.
show and tell.
Yeah, I think Marin should take Ben's place.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
you should too.
Good job, Marin. That's a beautiful card.
Good
I
job.
wonder how Marin would do on Tuesday nights selling autographs.
You
Probably
do good.
something more than Ben does.
I might need a new tag champion partner.
Well, I don't.
All right.
Who do we have next? Are we anybody left?
Guru.
Am
No.
I allowed to speak? I get to speak.
You get to speak. There you go.
So Ben's already seen these. So I got these from a guy. Me and Ben know.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool. That's
Rock
Rock
and
and
Roll
Roll
Express
Express and
FTR.
FTR.
Nice.
That is so sweet.
Nice.
So cost me a good fortune. And then I got this.
You didn't get that from no toy vomit, dude, did you?
This is a monster. The Inner
I
Circle.
like that. I like that one.
Oh wow.
It is huge. High spot certified, so it's
Nice.
legit. Ben seen it. Ben, it's beautiful in person.
It is beautiful in person. Yep.
It's about $17 in shipping right there, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Now I know where
okay.
you got it.
Now I know.
Hey, they look good. They look good in person.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got, man. Get it off of me.
Say please.
Damn,
Leave
you're
it on it.
Damn, trying to fucking boss me around, bitch. You and your
Yeah.
Hawk Movie shit. I'm gonna
He's
mute
telling
your
you that-
ass.
He's telling you how it is. He's
He-
like, get that.
He
camera
reminds
out.
me of Mark Henry. I'm just waiting for him to say somebody's gonna get their ass whooped.
That's right.
All right,
He's
guys.
too short
That's
for
gonna
that.
do it for tonight. But we're gonna go around the room and let everybody take us home and have a final say. And we're gonna start with Roger.
As always, and I'll speak for the little dickhead who's not here. Thank you guys for joining us. Please join us on Tuesdays for the Tag Champs Power Hour. They're always bringing the fire. It's always going to be there. It always has been. If you don't show up, you're going to miss out on some great deals. We really appreciate you tonight. Can't stress enough. We appreciate you guys on Tuesday night. And I'm going to end with this. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Calvin.
Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Check out, of course, William and Ben on Tuesday night. It's always summertime on Tuesday night. And y'all have a great week.
Nice.
All right, Shane.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend, and thanks for joining in. And I appreciate the time getting to hang out with you guys. Everybody getting to, sit around and bullshit for an hour. It's nice.
Hell yeah, it
Hell
is.
yeah.
That's why we do it. And before I
Yep.
get to Will, I want to thank Calvin because he's brought some fresh air to this podcast, and we appreciate having him. So he's going to be with us from now on. So hell yeah, come
Hey, I
on, Will.
appreciate it.
Let's go.
Other than being a Gator fan, yeah, he brings
Well,
some
I
good
get
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Here we
You
go.
know, I've been bitching about him being a Gator fan for years now, but I've kind of come to, we kind of have a mutual respect that we're going to be civil until it comes to football in October. So,
Exactly.
all right, Will, what you got?
Same thing. Just thank you, everybody. You guys did a great job. It's always great to get to spend our hour together, and it really means a lot to everybody here. I think getting to spend that time.
Oh yeah,
Definitely check out the recap. The live recap is posted at the top of the page. It's in the announcements. I know Ben is still adding items. I have got a ton of stuff to add, either late tonight or tomorrow. Even though it ends tomorrow night, I've got a ton of stuff to add to it. So definitely check that out. Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. We already know that's a given. And for the love of God, please pay your invoices. Having a little trouble with invoices being paid on time lately. So I know Ben is experiencing the same thing. So just pay your bills, folks. That's all I got.
Ben.
Ben.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. Love everybody. Like I said, be nice people. Say nice things. If you love them, you love them. Let them know. Just, it's one thing I've kind of learned lately, and the older you get, just never know. But enjoy your time. But then some news to kind of break. I guess the secret before this weekend, we're planning on getting images ready for the gathering. The gathering, we have three guests: Al Perez, Eric Embry, and Lynn Denton, the grappler. All three old school talents from world class WCCW. We'll start getting images loaded up. Start doing pre-orders. Like I said, I would invest in uh, the old school, the old talent, and also, like I said, help support the group. Like I said, guys, these guys do not do that many signings at all. We have a former world heavyweight champion, as our guest. Like I said, that's huge. Like I said, I know people started reaching out, so we'll have all that loaded up. Hopefully, I'll have it first of next week. And other than that, thank you so much.
Guru, you're muted.
I mean, I didn't know if I was allowed to talk or not. I mean, good God.
Jesus Christ.
Just check us out on Tuesday nights, guys. Check if you missed it on Tuesday nights. Check the recap out. Check us out on Thursdays. We got some great conventions coming up. If you see us out, speak to us. We'd love to hang out with you. Grab some food, coffee, beer, whatever. And always remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
Hey, that's a great choice to live by. Want to thank you all myself. Hey, if y'all got friends, family, share this podcast out. Let them know we're on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. We love talking. We love having comments. We love having other questions. I mean, we're going to do this podcast whether it's one viewer or 10. We love to do it, but more viewers, the more we'll have people commenting and questions. Thank you all very much, and we'll catch you same time next week.